I'd like to welcome you guys to this week's report. Today is Thursday, February 1st. It's also the first day of many days of bad weather in our forecast, sadly. Had a pretty tremendous amount of rain this morning. At the church I work at, we have a school there, and we had so much flooding in the parking lot, I had to go out there and help remediate that. And the water was deep enough in the parking lot to go over the top of my AFCO boots, so it was definitely raining pretty hard. But we got that resolved and hopefully figured out for the next big storm, which is coming on Sunday night into Monday. I'm certainly not a meteorologist, but just looking at the windy app and extending that out into the Eastern Pacific here, I think that this storm is going to be dramatically longer and stronger than they're talking about on the Channel 5, Channel 9, whatever weather reports. Looks like, again, hopefully I'm wrong, but it looks like it's just going to be a pretty steady stream of wind and rain coming in. I saw Santa Barbara Landing shared a post that they're projecting, I think it's on windy, almost 16 inches of rain inland in Santa Barbara by the end of this next storm. So simply going to be a doozy. Make sure to take the drain plug out of your boat up and sit in the driveway. I need to do that to mine. I'm sure there's a ton of water in it right now. And yeah, so good news, bad news. This weather weekend, the weather actually Friday into Saturday is not bad. It's gonna be a little breezy, but you can fish if you want to on Saturday. I know that the Melt Tackle in Newport is having a spotted bay bass tournament Saturday, and I know that because I'm going to be one of the waymasters in it. You can find them on Instagram or Facebook if you're interested in fishing it. It's a measurement based thing where you take pictures of your fish on a measuring board, and I don't know the details. It should be a little fun event. You can do it in a kayak or a boat. I'm not sure if guys fishing from shore or float tubes can do it, but yeah, if you want to fish this weekend, might be something to do. A little break in the weather. Fishing in the bay is not bad. And for that matter, fishing in any of the bays probably won't be too bad. You're going to deal with some freshwater runoff, so I'd suggest not fishing near any river mouths or anything like that, but certainly you can still got to catch something. I just wouldn't make a run to the islands. So, before this storm, the fishing was actually really good, and I know it's probably taking a little bit of time to recover just due to the deluge of rain we're going to get here, but I don't think that it's going to, let me back up, all the storms we've had so far this year, no matter how hard they blow afterwards, they're not really doing much to the water temperature. I was out on Tuesday afternoon, we had over 62-degree water along the coast, and so it may drop for a couple days, but I think it's going to rebound back, and things are acting like an early spring here, and it may be due to El Nino. I don't know. Who knows? It might just be one of those winters where it never gets real cold. But heading up to the Channel Islands, that fishing up there, I've been talking for a while about the coastal bass fishing up that way and how it's probably really good. And I finally got a report from up there. My friend Larry Heron of Calico 100 Charters had a trip on Saturday, and his guys went up there and just roped the calicos along the beach on a little 4-inch big hammer lures that he fishes up there. And looks like they had great fishing, great weather. I know that's not going to be something you can do this weekend, but maybe give it a week or so and things might straighten out a bit. And that fishing up there is fairly cold water anyway, so it's not really going to affect that bite. But yeah, that's something you can do any good weather day. Go up there and catch bass. I mean, it's pretty consistent fishing during the winter. Also consistent is the Bight at the Channel Islands for the Aloha Spirit Runner halibut trips. They did another trip the other day and loaded up on halibut again. I don't know how many they got, but at least I'd say 10 or 12 fish probably, and all nice grade of fish. And if you want to know more about that, Captain Pat from the boat was on the Cast and Crank podcast last week. If you go to the Cast and Crank podcast, you guys follow Nick's podcast. The latest episodes has Pat and Brian from the Aloha Spirit talking about what they're doing up there. Sounds like a real fun fishery. They're also getting some nice Calico Bass up there, so it's just good wintertime fishing. I'm sure that'll all recover after this storm. like I said, it might take a week or so, but I'm sure we'll be back in business up there in no time. Got some more island coverage the other day. My friend Lane Killian went to Catalina. Had good bass fishing there on the warbait neck breakers with his pickle kicks and also their A-rigs. Got some nice calicos. Had a few different spots. And my other buddy Vaughn Podmore, the fly fishing guy, he's been going over there and getting calico bass. He also was fishing along the beach the other day, had good calico bass at the breakwall. So those bass are biting, both at the island and at the beach. And again, it's going to take a week or so for that weather to straighten out, but Bight should still be there when they get back. Like I said, I fished Tuesday. I didn't run my GoPro because it was me and Chris Oakes, and I don't think anybody really wants to watch a couple of fat guys get small calico bass on spinnerbaits, but that's exactly what we did. And if you found the right conditions, you found biting fish. I think we had 8 fish and probably 20 bites in 2 hours. It wasn't great, but the fish were where they were supposed to be and biting when you find the right conditions. We actually saw some fish up boiling around in a couple spots. So not great fishing, but a good sign. It was getting a little bit, there was no wind forecast for Tuesday afternoon. It was starting to blow out of the west a little bit. And while I was expecting to be clear due to the Santa Anas, there was actually some clouds and also some fog kind of coming in. And what happened is that overcast comes in the afternoon, and that will definitely shut down that calico bite up at Palos Verdes. They'll bite in the overcast in the mornings, but if it's late in the afternoon, after being sunny, the bite really drops off. That's kind of what happened. So after about an hour and a half, we had that sun go by the clouds, and that was basically the end of our productive days. We had a pretty short day there. But halibut are still biting down here as well. The Native Sun is doing their halibut trips and getting them pretty consistently. I know I'm talking about the same boats over and over here, guys. It sounds like these weeks, but I'm just talking about the guys who are getting out and going fishing. And it sounds like, as far as sport boat goes, it's the guys doing the halibut trips and also guys fishing sand bass and sculpin and whitefish and things like that. Any of the half-day boats will be doing that kind of stuff from, Marina del Rey down to San Diego, so that's always available. Not very exciting though. But in other halibut news, my friend Brent in Volgamont went out I think getting a point the other day with his friend John Casey and his son, and I just drawing a blank on his son's name right now. I apologize for that. But they went out and had good halibut fishing. They, I think they hooked 8 or 9 fish, lost quite a few in the sea lions, had a hook on another one, and then John's son got this fish.
Turn around, it's all right. Bring your rod tip over this way. Wind. Go up and wind down. Go up and wind down. Who's going this time? Okay. Wind, wind, wind. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Pull him this way. Pull him this way. Pull him this way.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Nice job, Jack.
Okay. Fish walk, fish walk. Oh, yeah.
Let's see him. Nice. Nice job. Outstanding.
Yeah, so like I said, not a whole lot to report on. I apologize for that. I know we've got some not great weather coming up in the forecast, but I'll be back here next week to hopefully tell you it's looking better in the forecast for the following weekend. And while the fishing may not be great directly after the storm, it should recover quickly enough, I would think. So that's about it. I hope you guys have a great weekend and be safe and have good luck if you get out there and fish.